Good evening, televiewers. You welcome to today's edition of Prime R. As tradition demands, we are going to be talking about wealth creation and how to change our lifestyles as individuals, as a community, and as a nation inspired by young Cameroonians. So today, we are going to be asking the question as to whether young Cameroonians can change the course of Cameroon's economy from their little corners using the Tesk global initiative, a network of companies as our example, led by a very dynamic young Cameroonian with headquarters out there in Boya, Southwest regional capital. We are going to be discussing how young Cameroonians can cause a change in Cameroon's economy, Africa's economy, and global economy. With Japanese who already are seated in the house with us for the very first time. We are welcoming Miss Dorothy Jingwa, who is the General Manager of Tesk Global. We're glad to have you for the first time with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Hi, Saboya.
Great. Wonderful. At least better than... The climate is better than that of Douala.
Okay. City of legendary hospitality. Okay. We also are in the company of Madame Math Elive, who is the head of operations at the SHEP Academy. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to be here.
Hi, it's Boya too.
Okay. Better than Douala, as usual.
Douala is big. Okay, we are also in the company of Buji Leontine, who is the marketing director of Tesk Global. He's a regular on our Friday editions. Good evening and welcome.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here once more as we continue our mission of empowering and changing lives.
Okay. I don't know whether Mr. Teke is online already. Teke Samuel, who is the big boss of the Tesk Global Initiative. Mr. Teke, good evening and welcome. Okay, seemingly he's here to join us. Now, I will start with you, Mr. Buji. Is it possible to believe that Cameroonians, young Cameroonians, have what it takes to change the course of our economy?
Of course, the answer is to the affirmative. Young Cameroonians have what it takes to change the course of the economy. In fact, they say the youths are leaders of tomorrow. And now most youths are already leading. Not only leading tomorrow, but they're already leading now. In a couple of, in the past years, we've seen how Cameroonians are doing great things. There are a lot of innovations coming from Cameroon. And if you want to look at, I believe you've heard about the Silicon Valley of Cameroon, which is in Boya. There you have technology is almost, they are equating it to what happens in the United States of America. You have, that's where you also have one of Tesk Global's group of companies, Textadia. They fall there, and they're doing a marvelous job. That's a force to reckon with when you talk about technology in Africa now. And in Cameroon, we are not only offering services to the Cameroon economy, but we also have foreign companies that are their tech solutions are handled by Textadia. That's just a case in point.
Ms. Dorothy, you are a young Cameroonian. Do you feel that you have a responsibility in shaping Cameroon's economy, Africa's economy?
It's a yes to that because actually, as the General Manager for Tesk Global, one of the things I do is to empower people financially. So we don't just empower them by asking them or encouraging them to get into investment, but we give them financial education. So let's say, for example, okay, you get to educate a family on how to raise their finances. Now you're giving them a better life. Now when you give a family a better life, you're then boosting the economy because money keeps turning, revolving, and everybody is happy, thereby boosting the economy of a nation.
You change the life of a family, that family also transforms the life of the neighborhood, and then the community, the division, the region. Yes,
And the
that's
world
it.
at large.
Yes, you. How enthusiastic are you? Do you think that you are already doing what some people think the young people should do in the next 20 years?
Yes, of course. I'm doing so. In the capacity of head of operations at Shep Academy, we train young people, not only young people, but people of all age groups. You know, change is something that comes at any point in time. You could be 50 and you still accept change. But in the topic today, we are talking about young people. You know, there are lots and lots of young people who come into Shep Academy to do our entrepreneurship courses like mind mastery, business mastery, financial intelligence, a lot of them. And we see how lives are transformed every day. We watch them grow from one person to a big business, and they set a platform where others can actually leverage from. So we think we are doing a lot at the level of Shep Academy. And at my personal level, I think I am doing a lot.
Yeah, but do you do that with the consciousness that you want to see the Boya community changed, the Southwest region changed, Cameroon changed? Is that what is motivating your engagement in all of this?
Okay, I think my biggest motivation is the fact that most young people leave schools and are kind of jobless, one. Two, like my boss will always says, he's somebody from a very humble background, but he was able to stand up to be the person he is today. So giving back, it's always necessary. So the notion of changing life it's a personal thing. Plus minus what my company does, it's something that I have in mind. It's in depth, you know. So I feel I'm doing it for the rest of my people, from my family to my town, to the region, and to the country at large.
Okay, Mr. Buji, what is the Shep Academy is training young Cameroonians to change Cameroon, to change Africa, to change the world. What is it when people come to Shep Academy? What is the orientation that you give them first?
Well, the orientation is coming to Shep Academy. You have to rediscover yourself, reinvent yourself, because Shep Academy came as a solution to a problem. You remember we've been talking too much how our educational system had not offered us the best. That is why you have graduates who cannot find paid jobs, they cannot create, they are solely dependent on the government. You hear complaints, they are blaming the government, they are blaming the economy, they are blaming everything. When you come to Shep Academy, you realize that you are the person who is solely responsible for your success. You actually discover the reason why you came here on earth, because Shep Academy helps you to discover your purpose. And that is as Miles Monroe says, the worst thing to happen to a man is to live without knowing the reasons for his existence, for his being on earth, which means that you're just existing. But when you come to Shep Academy, your mind is transformed. At least it's just in a month's time, we have people who come there, they are empty, and they graduate as entrepreneurs. They are solving problems. We have a lot of success stories of Shep Academy out here in Cameroon. And there are people from every age group. So Shep Academy is actually the solution to our poor educational system. And we believe that in the next couple of years, we are going to touch a lot of lives. We're going to empower a lot of people so that they can create an impact in this particular moment of history.
Okay, is Mr. Teke there? Good evening, Mr. Teke, and welcome. Eli, can we get the line to Mr. Teke Claire, please? He has to come in. Okay, things are a little bit complicated. Now, let's look at home industries, how they can change the course of Cameroon's economy. Many young people think that when we talk of industries, it is some giants who may come from Europe, who may come from somewhere to create these industries. Is that what you teach the young Cameroonians, or you make them believe that these industries are very possible from ourselves?
Okay. Personally, I think the small businesses actually boast an economy more than the bigger one. For example, like she said earlier, I train at SHEP, and the course I was taking, because I'm no longer there, was a business mastery. Now, during my trainings, I always tell the trainees this: what is it that you've always wanted to do? Are you doing those things now? If it's a no, why? Now, some of them usually complain about their basic education, what they got from school is not actually what they see now. You get things like education is no longer the key, you know, to achievements and all the like. Now, if you can start, for example, as a farmer, unfortunately, most of the youths minimize that profession. Assuming you start as a farmer, you have an acre of corn, right? That will give you capital. That will give you profit. From the profit, you can definitely expand to become whatever you want to be. There's a slogan that they usually say, sometimes in life, you got to do what you have to do to become what you want to become. Now, starting as a farmer, to becoming maybe a transformer, transforming maize maybe to flour or a particular drink, you are employing others. You are paying tax to your government, thereby making your government richer. Now, imagine every youth in Cameroon is self-employed. The first thing is we are going to reduce crime wave, no or almost no unemployment. Let's not say no unemployment. Almost no unemployment. Everyone is paying tax to the government, thereby making our government richer. So we'll not find ourselves complaining, and our government will not find themselves always borrowing. So if everybody can actually get themselves doing something, you know, it's not necessarily working in big organizations like MTN, Nestle, and all. No, you can start somewhere to get to where you want to get to. So yes, it's a big yes.
So young people should believe that they can. This is when we talk about home industries or companies. Angels are not coming from heaven to establish them. Every young person watching us now has that potential to start up something.
Yeah, because for example, today almost everybody consume processing plantain flour, right? It's now, and there are organizations who are based on doing that, be it national or international. So if you tell maybe a student in UB, please grow up and start up a plantation, he's going to tell you, geez, you want me to go to farm after I must have had a degree? You see, those are the kind of response you get. But these are industries that make thousands and millions and billions of francs monthly. And they start, how did they start? From the farms. So imagine you having a plantain plantation. You become a supplier to a processed plantain flour. You are a billionaire.
Now, now to you. Sorry, I don't want to miscall the names here. Miss Dorothy. No, it's Matt Eliver. Sorry. Yes, Matt Eliver. Now, some people are really not too inspired. They are afraid. They don't believe that a big company is already in them. All they need to do is to dare and take that first step and see things work out for them.
This is it. That's why I think that's the mission of SHEP Academy. We bring SHEP Academy into this. That's why Mr. Deke brought up SHEP Academy. His vision lives around this. He wants people to know that you can actually use your inner potentials to make wealth for yourself. He wants the world. He wants young people especially. That's why he says he wants to impact 21,000 youths by the end of this year. He really wants young people to know that you can actually use yourself and make a lot for yourself. That's why Chef Academy was created. And at Chef Academy, there's a lot we train on and we teach on that will help you to rediscover yourself. By the time you come to Chef, you'll be able to go through courses that will make you see avenues where you can create something for yourself, and you actually set a platform. And that too is helping the economy, because when one person moves, one person pulls the hand of 50 others. It could be your family, it could be your neighbor, it could be anybody. You get it? So that's basically it.
That's it. So wherever you're watching us from, believe that to change your community, you also have a responsibility, and you are fully equipped with all that is required to do it. But how do we start to understand that we could become the next Zuckerbergs and the like? Because there are persons who may be in the village today, say in Boya Town, in Buitingi, in Batoke, and moving around with a lot of potential, not knowing that they could become the future billionaires. How do we get them to know that where you are wasting?
Well, I think that's simple. If they have to know that they're wasting, then they have to be in the right place at the right time. Because if you want to change your life, if you want to actually begin afresh and take the journey towards discovering yourself, you need to show up to events. That you need to attend programs that matter. That's where we step in. We talked about 21,000 youths. I mean 21,000 lives, because we'll not just concentrate on youths. Anybody for us, as Mr. Teke will say, life starts at 40. Even though, like you get to say, a fool at 40 is a fool forever. He doesn't believe that. He believes that life, no matter how far you've gone the wrong way, you can always start anew to do something better. So we are coming up with a lot of activities. You can either go for special sessions at the Shape Academy. You can actually attend our upcoming events. Like we have seminars. We've had seminars in the. We started like the one on the 13th in Douala. At least we are already having a lot of people that are on their way towards financial freedom simply because they showed up to the event. I know there are a lot of young Cameroonians out there. When you say show up for a seminar, I'm telling you, it's not easy. They prefer to spend their time in bars, in clubs, and doing whatever only God knows. So if you will want to change your life, you have to be conscious about the fact that you are the one that is supposed to take responsibility. We cannot come to your house and take you to a seminar, but you have to show up. There are many personal development events. For instance, GoMart just passed last weekend. We had over close to 1,000 Cameroonians there. You can imagine the impact. You can imagine the impact. But those who are not there, there is nothing their mindset is totally different. They say to be successful, what separates the best from the rest is simply their mindset. So we are inviting young Cameroonians to actually join what we are doing, because if you are passionate about humanitarian works, Tesk Foundation is there. If you are passionate about entrepreneurship, you will get to Shape Academy. If you are passionate about technology, you have Tech Stadia. And of course, nothing rotates without touching money. That's Tesk Global. And Tesk Global has something unique about it. In the first half of the year, which is still going on, I realized that young Cameroonians, as far as the United States, Belgium, Germany, they are investing back in Cameroon through Tesk Global. They understand that there is a company that is rising up. It's a company that is a solution to the many problems that Africa has been facing, to the many problems that Cameroon in particular has been facing, because it came up as a solution. And that endeavor, that is the work of a young man. So Mr. Teke, his hatred for poverty and hunger, that's what provoked him to come out with Tesk Global.
Yes, we have been having these programs for long now. Tesk Global, what do they really do?
Okay, Tesk Global is basically an agricultural investment company. So what we do is, actually, Mr. Teke, he has passion for agriculture, and it's not an easy project. It's actually very costly. So, for example, the fish pond we've established and the one we're still establishing costed us hundreds of millions. So, because of that, there was a need for investment. So, he came up with a platform where people can actually invest their money and get 100%. He has 5 children and a wife that does not work. So I screamed, like, how do you feed them? So how do you even cope with 50,000 francs? And he said, madam, that's why I'm here. Someone told me you people actually can advise me on how to go about the state, my financial state. So I told him, can you actually get a loan? Is there any way you can get a loan? Because he works for a government institution. And he said, yes, I can get a loan up to 1 million francs. I said, do you trust us? He said, yes. Get a loan and bring. So this man went, came back with 1 million francs, I think after about 2 weeks, and presented this 1 million to me. So I invested 875,000. 75,000 is the registration, and 800,000 is actually his investment. Then gave him the balance to go home and maybe buy some stuff in the house. As I'm talking to you, that man is 1,600,000 francs richer, because it was last year, so it's already the end of the year. Now with 1 million, you have 40,000 francs weekly. So with 1.5, you have 60,000 francs weekly. Now with 1 million, you have 160,000 francs monthly. That's far more than his salary. But what did he do? He had to sacrifice a period of 1 year to be able to get to where he wants to get to. So as it is now, we have established a small business for the wife in the house, like she does these petit businesses. Then the husband earns more than 160,000 monthly. That's what Tesk does. So you don't actually just invest for investment's sake, but you invest to change your lifestyle financially.
Okay, Mr. Teke is on standby. Mr. Teke, I want us to show Cameroonians how young people can cause a change in the economy of the nation.
Hello, good evening, everyone. A pleasant day, I guess you're having over there. Thank you so much, Mr. Liu and the BT Media House. And a big thank you to all of my people who are ensuring that they support the agenda to make sure the dream actually come through. A big thank you to the General Manager Tesk Global Cameroon, Mr. Buji, Marketing Director, and Madam Matt, the Head of Operations, Chef Academy. Who has difficulty in getting a means of survival. The average Cameroonian, and that 20% has left, so that is 40% burden leaving the country already. So Cameroon can actually become a very wealthy, successful, and developed nation if the individuals decide to take up responsibility to grow or develop themselves. And that is what we are doing at Tesk Global. And that's why we try as much as we can that as Tesk Group of Company, we human life. Now in Tesk Global, we are facing agriculture. We are tackling the issue of financial security and food security. At Shep Academy, we are tackling the area of necessary education. Why am I using the word necessary? Because most of the education we are having in Cameroon is not necessary. So we pick that area of education that the average Cameroonian needs. We provide that at Shep Academy. If you go to Textadia, which is part of Tesk Global business, because all of these companies I'm mentioning as a result of the emergence of Tesk Global. If you go to Textadia, we are providing solutions to the IT, and which is another billion-dollar industry. If you go to Global Epoxy Designs, we are doing another marvelous work as far as decoration is concerned. So we are doing a lot of work at Tesk Global to ensure that we impact the lives of individual Cameroonians. If we do that, we are able to make an impact in our world or in our nation as Cameroonians. If the average Cameroonian is blessed by the works of Tesk Global, then Cameroon is blessed in turn. So the global picture is that we want to impact an individual whose impact will reflect in the national impact of the people. If the average Cameroonian is doing well, Cameroon will be doing well. So the whole thing is Tesk Global. We want to be able to let these people know that if every young Cameroonian decide to morally do the right thing, to morally work and make money for themselves, we are going to make Cameroon a better nation. All the struggle, all the complaint that we complain about Cameroon not being good, the responsibility should fall back on the young people. They normally say that the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. But I am saying this evening that leaders of tomorrow depends on the work of the youth today. So the leaders of tomorrow are actually the workers of today. If we have to become the leaders of tomorrow, we have to get to work today. So I encourage every young person, learn from what we are doing at Tesk Global. If you go to Tesk Global, almost everybody in Tesk Global is a youth. All the staff, people handling major positions that impact the lives of people are youth. I can boldly tell you that we don't have anybody above 35 years or 38 years that is working for Tesk Global. They are all youth doing marvelous work for this nation. And I am calling on every youth that we have a responsibility to impact our nation. We should stop shifting blame. Let us all get to work. And if I may add, come and join us at Tesk Global so we can put our forces, mental forces, financial forces, all the forces that are needed to ensure that we impact this world. We don't need too many companies. We just need too many people who can come together and clamp on one idea, make it grow, and we will build an empire. The problem we have in Cameroon is everybody wants to be the owner of an organization, which is not a bad idea. But it will be more effective if we all come and put our effort or our energy in an idea that has proven the test of time, that has been proven through the test of time. If we put our energy with what Tesk Global has been doing for the past 4 years, if we put all our energy there, we'll raise a strong organization, a strong company that will impact our lives and will impact Cameroon as a whole. Yes, sir.
The general manager raised an issue that people are investing through Tesk Global. When you invest, you create wealth, and it directly impacts on the community and the nation. How do people invest through your company?
All right, what we do in Tesk Global is what we call corporate farming. Corporate farming simply means that there are people who are in their offices and they don't have the strength to go to the farm. So Tesk Global does the work for you while you bring in your corporate finance. So how do you invest? Those that go to the farm. You give us your financial resources. We go to the farm. We do agriculture in a large scale and in a business mindset for you. get profit out of our agricultural projects and distribute the profit with our investors. So these guys are not actually investors as we call them, they are actually partners. So you come, you partner with us, we do the farming. Why you stay in your office? For you that cannot go to the farm. For you that can go to the farm, you can actually join us to the farm and see what we do at the farm. So what they
Okay, seemingly connection issues there. How do we build these industries for young people, Cameroonians? Because some people think that an industry, a company can only be constructed by some people who have gone to big schools and who have some knowledge about it. How does it start?
It's not shape, it's your mindset. You have to come to realization that, oh, I'm lacking here. I don't have enough of this. I need to step up. When you can get to that realization, now you go in search of where you can get help. And SHEP stands there. SHEP is the help. SHEP Academy is the help you need. Now, there's a course we teach at SHEP. It's always taken by Mr. Tesk. It's called Mind Mastery. With Mind Mastery, when you come to SHEP, I'm sure that's the first course you take. That course, first of all, helps to transform your mind. You understand that you can make a lot, you can make better for yourself, you can do a lot better for yourself. So when you take that course and you take the other ones, there's a lot you will do for yourself after 1 month of training. So I say that it starts from your mind. And when it starts from your mind, now you take action. After taking this training, you tell yourself, I cannot be laid back. I have to take action. And you take action by starting off something small. You don't need to have a lot to impact the whole world. No, you need to start off from somewhere. We have a host of people at SHEP Academy going on a training now. They are going to the next level now. March session, those who are going in for level 1, they are coming in. Level 2 students are going to the level 2. Okay, for level 1 students who are coming in, they have identified a problem and they want to solve it. They want a solution to this problem. That's why they came to our academy. And we are helping them. For instance, if we weren't doing anything, if we weren't helping people, we would not have graduated close to 200 people under 6 months of operation. So I think there's something we are doing that's it's inexplainable. There's something we are doing. We are changing the world. We are actually changing people's minds to achieving something really potential for themselves.
Yeah, Mr. Buji, people want to know how they can change Cameroon's economy by creating companies and industries. How do they do that? Is it just the issue of the mindset, like she said directly?
It starts from your mindset.
It starts as
not just
yes. After the mindset, how do you? Yeah.
Okay, as she says, it starts from your mindset. Okay, now you will need to, when you already come to the realization you have something within you that the world needs. As you look, we will always go back to our reference book, The Billionaire Mindset. Everything you see on earth, it's in 2 stages. It's first of all built in the mind, then it's built in the physical. Even an aircraft, be it military or commercial aircraft, those things were conceived, they happen in the mind. Then they are brought to the limelight. You can now see them in the physical. Now I understand that there are a lot of difficulties that people face when starting up their new projects. And that is where Tesk Global also comes in. Because we say you have, let me just say, you have 5 million francs CFA and you want to start a business. You realize that this money is very small to actually start a business. That is the reason why you should partner with us so that we deploy your resources with our technical know-how and then we give you back, we share the profits with you. For instance, if you have a project of 10 million but you have only 5 million, we can actually make you have 10 million in 11 months. As the GM said, there are a lot of things that happen. We do agriculture at a different level with a business mindset and as experts in the field, which means that we are not doing the ordinary things that our parents used to do. If we are engaging in a project, it's a project that is going to give more than enough because we have the specialists who handle every aspect of it. in that light, if you need the financial resources, if you have the dream of starting another project, then you can partner with us. We will not only be giving you the money, but we'll also help you on how to start, because personal development is a key thing that we take at Tesk Global and Value Chain Services.
Okay, good evening, sir. How much can one put into as a start for investment with you people? Does it require so much money?
We actually have 2 plans. Now, we initially had 3. That's the classic, the VIP, and the retirement. But we had to stop the VIP. It was a block account, so we only relaunch it after 5 years. Now, for the classic, you can start with a minimum of 175,000. But for the retirement plan, you need the 1,575,000 francs, and you can always upgrade it.
You can always upgrade it. Somebody is asking that where is the company found? Global, I'm sure their headquarters is
In Boya.
in Boya. Good evening to you all. I'm Joel from Bafoussam. Please, where is the company located? It is in Boya. Good evening, Mr.
It's in
Kum.
Boya, Douala, Yaoundé, Mutengene, Bamenda, Umba. Kondo City, Mundema. We have 8 branches.
If you think that
Nigeria, it's in the
yeah,
US.
but away from just investing, do you? If somebody says I have capital to invest, I don't know what to invest in, can you also coach them based on what is trending in the market?
Yes. When you asked Mr. Boji, I wanted to add something to what he said. Okay. During my session as a trainer, there's something I discovered. Many people want to be Dangotes. Okay, many people want to make it in life. They want to be billionaires and millionaires, and they want to start up businesses, but they don't know how to start these businesses. I always say this: it's very simple. Identify a problem in your community. Don't because when you say identify problems, people start thinking of the problem in the US. No, around you. For example, I'm in Boya. We all know it's difficult to have in Boya. Now, assuming you start the water transportation business, you transport water from one water supply, transport water maybe from a particular borehole, supply it in houses, and you just make maybe 1,500 profit a day. How much are you going to make at the end of the day if you have to supply to about 100 houses a day, or let's say a minimum of 10 houses a day? Multiply that by 30 days. That's a lot of money. Someone who works in the corporate environment does not earn that much. But when you talk of businesses, people start thinking on, oh, I want to start working, maybe start in the Dangote's factory, or start maybe a processing factory, like something very big from the beginning. No, I personally discourage that. Identify a problem in your community, then get a solution for it. Don't start by thinking of the money, the profit you're making, because money definitely will follow you after you must have identified the problem.
That is a typical business idea you just gave there for people who are living in Boya. Not only Boya, Douala has acute water issues. You could get a tanker.
For Douala, let's say, okay, most houses in Douala use gas, right? Now, if you're to purchase a bottle of gas and you don't have a car, you need a taxi, right? And getting that gas bottle maybe from the junction to your house, you need a bike. It's extremely stressful. But if there is a service like a tricycle contact in every store, that maybe the salesperson calls that particular tricycle when you make purchases, you just have the delivery in your house, that man will be making a lot of money. But people will minimize such opportunities because they will belittle it. I usually tell people the image you give of your profession, that's how people will look at you. If you're a maid, you make people belittle you, they'll belittle you forever. But if you give yourself worth, you look at yourself like someone who does something very important, because maid is very important. It's a very important profession. That's how people will see you. So to me, it's all about starting somewhere. It's all about identifying that problem, no matter how small the problem is.
Okay. It's Mr. Teke there. Mr. Teke, there is an issue where people would say, yes, young people can aptly contribute in changing Cameroon's economy, but where would they get a source of capital is always a problematic. Does it matter?
Okay. I don't think the problem first is not capital. Like I always say, paper notes, what the average man see as money, is just an evidence to show how. The first thing begins from an idea. If you are able to generate an idea, create an idea, value the idea, work on the idea, and see how much money that idea can bring from you. So the best idea that can give you money is an idea that has the capacity to solve humanity's problem. That's where the whole thing begins. If your idea has the capacity to solve humanity,
network issues there with Mr. Teke, but please just bring him back once that is clear. Do you understand when I say that many persons would have loved to?
If you don't have the physical capital to run that idea, to execute the idea, the next thing you have to do is you seek for partnership. So the problem with the average Cameroonian is that instead of us to analyze a productive idea, value it, and execute it through partnership, we want to look for sponsorship. So we have a lot of Cameroonians who go to people's houses or their offices begging them for money to run their business. And I always say this, nobody wants to do that. If you think your idea is productive enough and it is very good, go seek for partnership. There are business people everywhere who have money to invest in businesses. They have to trust your intelligence. So first thing, what are we supposed to do? Having money is not the first criteria. First thing you need to do is you should be able to create an idea. And creating idea begins from the kind of thought pattern that you allow to run through your life. The kind of thought pattern you allow to run through your life comes from the kind of information that you let into your life. That is why Chef Academy is important. A place like Chef Academy gives you the right information that patterns your thoughts and helps you to generate profitable ideas. With these profitable ideas, you are able to think of how to solve problems of people. No matter how crazy the idea is, if it is solving humanity's problem, you are going to be a billionaire in less than no time. So don't think of how to get money first. Think of how to solve people's problems first. I'll give you this example. Yesterday, Tesk Global Foundation went to a particular school to attend to the school needs of that school. And they bought a lot of things, they bought tissues, papers, and all of that. Fortunately for Tesk Global Foundation, there were 500 students in that school. And while I was planning with the director, we planned for 500 students, 500 pupils. So when they went there and then they gave all of those things, and the people were amazed. And while they started putting their prayers and all of that, at the end of the day, they now asked, what do you people do? And the director started talking about the foundation and who is behind the foundation. They now mentioned Tesk Global. And that was how we were able to get 3 partners or 3 investors who joined Tesk Global today from that foundation. How did we get partners for our business? Because we had humanity at heart. We were about our business solving problems. So the average Cameroonian youth, if we want to impact our nation, what we should do first is think of how to solve a problem and you will make money. Don't pursue money, pursue problems. Provide solutions to problems and you will have money. If you do the other way around, you are going to be so frustrated. So if all we are doing is pursuit of money, we will be among all men most miserable. But if we pursue problems and provide solutions to those problems, we are going to make the money. So money is not a problem. The problem is we are not able to create profitable ideas with the intention of solving a problem for humanity. That's the problem we have in Cameroon, especially among the youths.
Mr. Teke, Bren Eber, writing from Kumba, is saying that please, what level of education can someone attain before they join the company?
You don't need any level of education. That what you need is your desire to succeed. It's your desire to make a difference in your life. You don't need any level of education. You just need a desire to make a difference in your life, just like me. What pushed me to start up Tesk Global was the desire to make a difference in my life and to affect my community. I knew that I won't be able to affect my community until I'm able to change certain things about my thoughts. And I started learning. All the things I do, or all the things we do for Tesk Global, I did not learn any of them in school. None of them was taught to me from school. I learned them in the streets. So whether you are a first school leaver or an advanced level holder or a PhD holder, everybody have the capacity to join Tesk Global group of companies. We don't need your level of education. I've had people who passed through chef that have not gone to school. We're teaching them in pidgin. After the trainers have done their work, the staff at chef will call this mama and teach her in pidgin. Today, her business, she's frying for pork, a big gâteau, this meat pie and fish pie. Her business has grown because we sat her down and taught her in pidgin. So if you require your dialect, we will get your dialect and train you. You don't need any form of education. All you need is your willingness to create a difference in your life and that of your community.
Good evening, sir. I'm Marcellus in the East region. I am into farming, especially corn farming. How can you people help to sell my products? Is it possible? Oh. Mm-hmm.
Presently, we have a huge contract from the UK. Mm-hmm. So we actually have to supply tons of corn, red corn to be particular. Mm-hmm. So what he needs to do is to become a member with by registering the sum of 75,000. Mm-hmm. Then identify the quantity he can supply monthly.
Mm-hmm. So the person who just wrote from the East region, you have the contacts there on the screen. If you think that you want them to help you sell your product, just get to them and they will help you. Good evening to you, people in the studio. I'm called Atongwe Daniel from Mahole in Tombel subdivision, Kupe Manenguba. In which area of Boya can we find your office? Please just call the number on your screen. They will help you get to their office. Hi, I'm Luis in Bamenda. What if I chip in 175k as minimum to run the business? What is expected of me to have a gain and what profit can I have in a year? Please, can you just call them after the program? Just take the contacts. Good evening to you all. I'm Joel from Bafusam. Please, where is the company located so that I can come for more information? They are in Boya. Can you just get their number? Good evening, Mr. Kum platform. Yes, they can, but just 20%. Why? Because many young Cameroonians spend their time in drinking sports rather than in seminars how to improve financial status and become wealthy. So if those 80% can read books, go to seminars, watch videos on financial freedom, they will cause an impact on the national economy. Mr. Lang Julius, a business consultant, writing from Douala here. Is that also where the problem is, that young people don't know that they need to forgo what they consider today as enjoyment and then go for a real investment? And when they become real investors, they are going to change the economy of Cameroon.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That's why you say many young persons in Cameroon don't understand what it means to delay gratification. Mm-hmm. That's why today, if you give a Cameroonian 1.2 million, a young Cameroonian 1.2 million, now most of them are going to go for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. That will be what they want. They snap good pictures and post on social media to impress those who don't even care. So at the end of the day, it boils down to the mindset. What mindset do you have? If you have the mindset of wealth creation, then definitely you will create wealth. But if you don't change your mindset, you cannot change your life. That's where we come in. Like if you are out there, you don't know where to begin. then you can get to Shape Academy, and we will help you through the process.
Okay, good evening to all the panelists. I'm Michael from Limburg. Except we change from consumers to producers. Producers education, we won't make any move close to change. Good evening to you all. Very impossible except the present regime is wiped away completely, because with the present regime, people think mostly about themselves. Edwin, writing from Muyuka in the Southwest region, is that not also a problem? I want all of us to come in here where people think that it is only the government that can give a leeway to our becoming successful in life.
Mr. Leo, we've been talking about this ever since we started this program. We've been pleading with them, stop blaming, throwing blames.
Forget about the government.
Yes, forget about the government. Some are blaming their parents, they are blaming their village people, they are blaming the economy, just everything.
The ABC syndrome.
Of course. If you want to change your life, stop the responsibility. Take the responsibility. What am I not doing right? If you start asking these questions, why is it that that people are succeeding in the very economy that you cannot succeed in? That is the question. Why is that companies are growing? Until you change your mindset to chase problems, not money, as Mr. Teke said a while ago. Chase problems. But how does it look like if you are chasing problems? When you chase problems, you will solve the problems, and definitely money is going to follow you. All the great people in the world, Mark Zuckerberg solved the problem for socialization, and money followed him. Larry Page and Sir Reagan did what? They solved the problem of connecting people, searching things faster in the internet. Money followed them. Steve Jobs, he solved the problem. Bill Gates solved the problem. Dangote is solving a problem.
Mr. Teke, solving a problem.
So the question is, what problem are you solving? If you can answer that question, definitely, if you have a problem that you are solving and money is not following you.
Because the truth is, the government cannot actually employ everybody. You see, so for when the government does employ the persons they can, what happens to the others?
But how much money does the government pay its workers? Can you really become rich from the government's payroll?
I can say it's almost equal to the fall of the consumption of the fall. Oh my God. So this is it, right? I want to believe it's something that originated from the beginning, from our forefathers. You know, when you go to school, you graduate, you apply, you know, or write concours or something of that sort. But recently, it's changing, you know, and people are actually finding it difficult to adapt. But it's real. You can actually make it on your own. Just sit, you know, rediscover yourself, maybe with the help of institutions like Shape Academy, then identify that problem in your community, try to monetize it, as simple as that.
Good evening, sir. I'm from Douala. How can I identify my problem in business? That's somebody writing from Douala.
You're not identifying your problem in business. You are identifying the problem in your community. I even went as far as mentioning some examples like water, gas supply, and all whatnot. So you can actually do that, like bikes. How did bikes come about? There was a need for transport, like something you can use to easily, you know, cross the traffic in Douala and other towns. So that's how bikes came about. So, and it's solving a lot of traffic problems, traffic issues, and they are making money. Some people earn their living from riding bikes. You just need to identify a problem in your community. For example, motivational speakers, what problem did they identify? The need for sensitization. So they organize seminars, sensitize young people or adults, and they get paid for that. Trainers, what problem did they identify? The need for maybe corporate trainings. Okay, you need customer service training, you need events management trainings, and so on and so forth. And what happens? They solve that problem. In exchange, they get money for it. Solve problems. Cosmetics, everybody wants to use Njangsang. So what do? You go to the market, buy Caribou, you mix it with any acid, you give people, they use they become fair. You're solving a problem. In exchange, you're fair. Just identify the problem. What do people want and what do they need. It can be things as simple as food, good food. You can be in a town where to find maybe African meals is very difficult. You have to eat Western. Like one time I said, I'm tired of eating tomatoes. Can I just have porridge cocoyam, please? You know, sometimes you need those kind of things. Now, if you can identify that in your community, every restaurant get into Western food, then get into an African stuff, cook your porridge cocoa, supply from one office to the other. That will give you money. Yes, it might not be the dream job you want, but it can raise enough capital for you to get you to where you want to be. Like I said, it's not all about starting big. You can actually start small and become big.
Yes, but starting small, the issue is starting small and thinking that you would never grow. How do we muster the courage and, yes, determination to grow to becoming the Dangotes?
Having a mentor.
Okay. I just want to add something to that. Like, I like the person's question. He said, how can he identify the problem in his business? Let me begin with Chef Academy. Please, you need to get in contact with Mr. Teke. Get the numbers on the screen. We have so many business coaching programs, and you can actually have Mr. Teke as your personal coach. He will coach you because he wants everyone to succeed. Maybe you have a running business which is not the one Madame Dorothy is talking about. You have a business that is none of these businesses. So bring it onto the table. Come to Chef Academy. There's a program coming up in Douala on the 10th of April, the Audacity of Success. Mr. Teke is going to actually help you. If you're not comfortable with sitting in the crowd, you can actually get him to talk to you one-on-one. But you need to bring it to the limelight. If you don't bring it, the problems can never be solved. If you bring out your problem, you can find help.
Yes, but when somebody invests, say 1 million, how soon should they start receiving benefits?
30 days after, I think 30 days period of incubation, because you actually need the money to work. So when it gets to the 30th day, you receive 4%. Within which 2% is a profit and 2% is the capital, because it has a period of 50 days. So 50 weeks, sorry. The reason the management thought of making it that way is because of the fear.
50 weeks is what period?
11 months, 2 weeks
11
to be
months,
precise.
okay.
So so many people have been through a lot of deceit. They get into investment schemes, and the next day there's a sad story about them losing their money. So Tesk Global has been shaped in such a way that you actually have just a 6 months period to risk your money. How do you get this money? Every week you have 4%, within which 2% is profit, 2% is capital. So you can actually tell yourself, after 25 weeks, I get my initial capital, I put it where I think is safe, because I'll not say I put it in the bank. There's some banks that close, okay? So you put it where you think is safe. Now, the profit you get 25 weeks after, you can use that to reinvest. So, yeah.
Mr. Teke, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yes, some people have ideas and would want to invest. What is the best strategy? Is it coming to Chef Academy for advice, or they should look for partners or sponsorship, or say somebody has capital today and wants to engage in something so that they can change the course of the lives of their family members and communities? What is the strategy to engage in?
Okay, I think I want to talk now as a business person, and one of the agenda for the program on the 10th of April, the Audacity of Success, is to give people this strategy on how to actually monetize their ideas. I'm going to give them strategies on how to seek for partnership, on how to get partnership, on how to actually change their lives. So I want to speak on the platform of a business person and actually advise that anybody watching us right now that are part of these issues, 10th of April is when we are going to expose all of this in the Audacity of Success, because success requires a degree of ruggedness. on this program on the 10th of April, I think I should just bust it out before time. I am not going to be the only person speaking in this program. I'm going to come with
their capitals, because you may have something which may not be up to the amount required. Yeah.
Yes, we are going to do that. There's something I always say. I always say that get into concentrate on quantity while you build quality. Do smaller businesses to enable you grow capital to get into your dream business. We are going to be exposing all of that at the audacity of success. These are some little secrets I learned in my life, and it's working for us. I'm going to show them how to boost their capital. If you have a business idea that is 20 million and you have 100,000, how do you raise 20 million? It's very simple. I'm going to be revealing all of that in that program, The Audacity of Success.
Mr. Deke, Tesk Global is talking tour today. Many persons, and all of you, you said nobody is above the age of 35, 36 years. Are you people millionaires or billionaires?
Anybody that knows
the devil is a liar. No, but we are coming back. Just try to reconnect. Are you people millionaires or billionaires? Mr. Teke, once he's back, let him go on. Yeah.
Yeah, we are billionaires.
Okay.
Yeah, because as Mr. Teke says, banknotes, coins, they are evidence that you have money. Mm-hmm. So now, what is money? Money is the ideas that you have. Mm-hmm. What is upstairs there? That's what matters. Tesk Global, when you get there, we don't talk about millionaires, we talk about billionaires, mm-hmm. because our idea is, it cannot generate anything to us less than billions. Mm. So if you're partnering with us, you're partnering with us to become a billionaire. At least, even if you will not become a billionaire, then you should fall amongst the millionaires.
But some people would say that what you guys are saying is what they hear every day in church, that after this week, you are going to become a millionaire, you have a dream husband, you do this, you do that. Is it not also what you are saying? How do you tell people that? Is it by faith?
No, it's not by faith.
Okay, personally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before, in fact, let me just tell you how I met Mr. Teke. I lost my job. My husband lost his. And because of the crisis, we relocated to Boya. So after staying home for a while, I needed to think of something and identify the problem of fats. Every woman wants to lose belly fat. And I just had 2 kids through surgery, and everyone was asking, how come you have no stomach? What's happening? I started preparing recipes online. All of a sudden, I got this man, hello, can you call me? He sent his number. Guess who? That was Mr. Teke. I have a large stomach, too large for my size. Can you help me out with this? So I booked an appointment, went to his office. We talked about it. Later on, he said, I like the way you work. Do you mind working with me? I said, really, sir? Gosh, I was happy. Within me, I was very happy, but I was like, no, I have something doing. I said, no, it's okay. You can work with me. Why doing what you're doing? That's why I started working for Tesk Global, and I was earning, at that time we used to earn 20,000, 30,000 francs as salary, and at the time we had just a hall. But as I talk to you now, I'm the general manager for Tesk Global Cameroon. I'm the CEO of D&J Consulting. I own one of the largest Turkish shops in Boya. I have a cake shop in Yaoundé, and I'll soon launch a mini restaurant in Douala. What's the time frame? Just 4 years. I started with nothing, just by making salad and selling for 500 francs a plate. So it's all about determination, hard work, and making sure that you work towards achieving your goal, which is to become a billionaire.
So I'm speaking with a potential billionaire.
Sure.
You're already one.
Okay. This is good. Mr. Teke, are you there? Is Mr. Teke there, please? Okay, so it's not an issue of faith. You don't believe that it's going to happen, and then you spend 10 years believing without anything happening.
No, you have to plan.
You have to plan.
You have to plan for it. See, like I said, if you have a capital of 500,000 francs, for example, what do you want to become? Maybe you want to own a Turkish shop worth 25 million. It's possible. Don't stay home and jeopardize your opportunity of becoming that dream, that person you dream of becoming someday. No. The question you should be asking yourself is, what can I start with 500,000 that will give me 25 million in future? That's what we're trying to talk about. Don't go on squandering money because you think it's small. During my classes, I asked, do you think 10,000 francs is small as capital? And everybody said, that's for Shishana, madam. No. It's enough money to start up something.
What's shisha?
Most youths today use to squander money. I think it's kind of tobacco.
Yeah.
Tobacco.
In snacks?
Yes, in snacks.
I see.
Yes.
Mr. Teke?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I said the devil is a liar because you are going to reveal something. You got me.
The devil is still
Yes.
a liar.
I was asking whether when you talk big of a billionaire mindset, this book, many persons have been calling me that they want to become billionaires and that they want to read this book. I hope because I give you contacts, I hope they're calling to request for it. Yes, but Mr. Teke, you are telling people that they can become billionaires, they can do this, they can do that, they can. Are you a billionaire? Because they write to me also, Mr. Kum, do you really know this man? Is he rich? He's so young.
All right. What I want to say first is, like I always say in my writings, that money does not begin from your pocket; it begins from your head. When I wrote the book, The Billionaire Mindset, I wasn't a billionaire physically, but I was a billionaire in my mind. But today, I can tell you that what I wrote in that book that was in my head has actually translated to my pocket. So, everyone picking up the billionaire mindset, you might be frankless, you might not have anything in your pocket, but the ideas you are going to get from the billionaire mindset will transform you into a billionaire. I wasn't a billionaire when I wrote this book, but today is actually what I am right now. That's the short confidence. And I am telling everyone that is ready to pick up the billionaire mindset, that is not just a normal writing, it's an inspired writing. And anybody who has read the billionaire mindset can attest to the fact that the book has changed their life. So we should note this. Number one, Tesk Global is not a fast money making scheme. Let me say this because I've been reading some comments on Facebook. Tesk Global is not a fast money making scheme. Number one. Tesk Global is not a double money-making scheme. Number two, it is an agricultural investment business that is run. And that's why we have a time that we give you to be able to do business and pay you. If you read the billionaire mindset, you not become a billionaire overnight. That is not the concept of the billionaire mindset. That is why you have the word there, mindset. And under the mindset, you have what I wrote, thinking it too well, because it all begins from your mind. Anything your mind cannot accommodate, your hand cannot handle. If your mind cannot accommodate billions, your hand will never touch billions. So get a billionaire mindset, build your mind first, and you can build your life. I'm a testimony of what this book is. And so if you want to change your life, get a billionaire mindset, and it will work for you. I am what the title of this book is right now, but I wasn't it before I wrote it.
Mr. Teke, how did it work out? You say you were not a billionaire when you wrote this book, but you are today. We read the Bible, and the Bible says you are the head and not the tail. We believe in it. It says that you are going to trample upon serpents and scorpions, and you are not going to be hurt. Those are things that we read, but it is very difficult to see them manifest in our lives. What is the difference between reading this, believing it, and then manifesting what is written in this book?
Well, if I can get it very clear, I'm so sorry about the network issue we're having today. But the issue is that when you pick up a copy of the Billionaire Mindset, don't just read it, study it. Anytime you pick up a copy of the Billionaire Mindset, train yourself, empty yourself of everything that you know. Come like a little child, like a newborn baby, and then feed yourself with the Billionaire Mindset. The same thing applies to the Bible. Most people read the Bible and they don't make anything out of it because they just read it like any other novel. And it's not their fault. That is the kind of information, that's how we are taught in Cameroonian schools. We are taught to read, memorize, go and write exam and come out. But the Billionaire Mindset is something you have to practice. If you read through it, there are certain steps. There are some chapters, some mindset I gave you, steps on what to practice. You practice meditation, you practice thinking, you practice talking. So don't just read the book, digest it and make it become a part of your life. If you take mindset number 1 that says thoughts, it means you have to practice your life, not to think of negative things, not to think of poverty. If you really have to be rich, you cannot be thinking poverty and expect to have money. It will never work. This thing requires no prayers. It has nothing to do with prayers, has nothing to do with fasting. It just has everything to do with you changing your mindset, what I call paradigm shift. It has everything to do with changing your paradigm shift, the way you think, the way you act, and the way you talk. So pick the book, read it, empty yourself of every degree knowledge you have in the University of Goya or University of Yaoundé, and know that you are entering a new school, a new higher institution I call the School of Money. If you pick up the Billionaire Mindset, you are getting into a new school. And this school, the number of months or years you are going to spend in the school is dependent on you. So empty yourself of everything, pick the Billionaire Mindset, digest it, and practice the steps and see how it's going to work for you. It might be 1 week, it might be 1 day, it might be 2 months, but you'll definitely get what the book is talking about if you practice every step that you see in the book.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the guests in the studio. My appreciation for the topic under discussions. I feel some young Cameroonians have the potential to impact on the economy of the country, but some are feet dragging because of no financial booster or support. Another problem is the curriculum in schools, which does not impact positively on them. With orientation on and the support of the government as well as specialists in the domain, things can accelerate positively. Mr. Ambi Emmanuel, writing from Baum in Bafut, okay, that is at the entrance of Bafut. Good evening to you all. Special greetings to Mr. Teke Njema Ndumbe from Bokwai City in Boya. Good evening to you, my friend Njema. Good evening to all the panelists. Michael from Limbe. Okay. Michael, good evening to you. This one says, greetings to all. Chris in Douala, when will they organize a seminar in Douala? How much is the lowest amount? I hope you guys are taking the information so that you can provide answers after I finish reading. Good evening, sir. I'm writing from Bamenda. I'm an electrician by profession. I think the government cannot pay me, but I can't pay for civil servants in 4 civil servants. Okay, but I can pay 4 civil servants in a month. The government can't manage its resources. All they know is high taxes and embezzlement on young Cameroonians. Let them promote young entrepreneurship. Mr. Leo, good evening to everybody in the studio. Where are you guys in Bamenda? Ngwa, writing from Bamenda. Mr. Leo asks that Madam by you, when I put 175k, how long will I start receiving again? Okay, she has taken note. She's going to get back to you. Elvis Brown is watching from Shell, New Bell. Good evening to you, Elvis. This one says, when will the seminar take place and where can I find the company in Yaoundé? You guys are taking note. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Azipo from Douala. Our Cameroonian youth could cause an impact in our economy, but we lack the entrepreneurial culture coupled with the difficulty of startup. If we could be educated on how to save and think creatively, not bearing our talents and carry applications with the nickname of applicants. Thanks to the GCE board that has introduced a subject called entrepreneurship. Thanks for educating the public. Thank you very much. John from Bamenda says, where can I get this book in Bamenda? Just call the contacts you have under your screen. They are going to tell you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Good evening to everyone there. Mr. Liu, this program is very interesting, so please, I would like to be a member. Julius, writing from Mato. Good evening to you, Julius. Call them using the number below your screen. They are going to direct you. Good evening. I'm John in Yaoundé. I'm confused. Please help me. Which business can I really start with? 550,000 francs. I have the money and confused on what to do. Call them. They will help you, Julius. Good evening to you all. Is the company in Boya? Yes, the company is in Boya. Call them. Good evening to you all in the studio. Sonri Princely in Yaoundé. I must confess that I like when the public is being sensitized. The world is gradually going global and we must adapt. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Liu and crew. This program is awesome. I feel like I've succeeded already. Thanks for the great job you're doing. When is the Audacity training in Yaoundé? Delphine is writing from Yaoundé. Okay. No, please. Stop calling. Just write your message. I'll read them out. Now, we have gotten some of the worries. Can you help answer some of them?
I think let's first of all start by answering the question where they can find us. In Boya, you can find us at Moki Garage. That's where our head office is. You can find us in Mutengene at Boya Park. You can find us in Douala at Ancien number 1 in Immeuble Car Care. You can find us in Yaoundé at Carrefour Acacia in the same building with MTN. You can find us in Bamenda at Commercial Avenue at opposite the entrance to the main market. That is where Orange used to be. And Madam, I don't know about Ekondo Titi and Mundemba.
You can find us in Ekondo City and you can find us in Mundemba, the roundabout to Manja. So those who know Mundemba know where Manja is.
Yes, but many questions were asking. How much do I do? How soon?
Okay. Someone asked, like I said, you need a 30 days period, what we call an incubation period, for you to start receiving 4% in your account weekly. So for the capitals, yes, of course. At SHEP, we can actually help you identify what business you can be good at. Because some people get into business for the wrong reason. That's why institutions like SHEP exist. So what they'll do there is to consult with you, identify
a problem?
Not just a problem. Because there are problems that not everybody can actually solve. For example, if a problem is sensitization and you are not a good speaker, you cannot do that. So it's identifying a problem, but a problem that you can fit in and excel in. So you just need to enroll maybe for when is your next session, please, Ma?
It's starting on the 13th of
Yeah.
March. That's next week. Yes, next week, Saturday. Our next session starts
In Boya?
in Boya, Shep Academy.
But many persons have asked about
The audacity of success.
Yes.
The audacity of success
It's
is
going to
in
be
Douala.
it's in Douala on the 10th. That is, we are bringing over, at least the capacity is 1,000 youths, and immediately we reach 1,000, we are not going to take more. So currently we have a discount that ends on the 15th. It's 15,000. Imagine it's symbolic, 15,000. So from the 15th, we are going back to 25,000. And we already have registrations coming in from Bamenda. You even have somebody from the north who is willing to come down. So success is intentional and it's predictable, as we say. So if you really want to start your journey towards success, I strongly recommend that you attend the Audacity of Success.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Kum. This is the third time of me requesting the cost of the book Billionaire Mindset. Jean Robert is writing from Kumba. Jean Robert, I've sent you Miss Lee's number. I can see our discussions. I've sent you Miss L's number at least 3 times. So why not just call her?
The official price is actually 5,000 francs now.
Okay, it's not expensive. 5,000. So you want a copy of the book? Just call the number, and with 5,000 you get it, and your life will not be the same.
There's
You know?
You
somebody
buy your
who
future with
mentioned
5,000.
something. There's somebody who said in one of the messages that he has 550,000 and he wishes to know where to invest. I'm sure Tesk Global is the best option. As at now, Tesk Global is your best option. Invest in agriculture, and in 1 year, your mind must have settled after passing through SHEP, our studies and our consulting. Your mind must have settled on what you can do after identifying everything. I'm sure you must have understood, and you make more money by then.
Okay.
You must have made more.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Sia Rambo from Mengang Village. Marketing is my problem. My domain is farming. They can help you to sell their produce, since you say it's the issue is marketing. The person from the east who says that he is into maize farming, he has sent me pictures of very huge consignments of maize, and it happens to be the red maize. So he says he's going to be getting in touch with you guys. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Martin in Muyuka. I have the billionaire mind upstairs, but I need a coach, please. I do poultry farming and I'm a nursing mother. Call the number after the program. They will help you out. Good evening, Mr. Liu. This is the best programs you ever made. It's Emma Binka writing from Bamenda. Emma, thank you for appreciating the program. Now, some people already have companies and they don't know how to make it corporate. Can you help them make it corporate and more serious?
Yes, of course. That's why we have a consulting department at SHEP. At SHEP, we do corporate trainings. We do company registrations. We also do entrepreneurship trainings. And we recently added project management certifications. That's because every business is a project. Every company, everything, there's a project in everything, and it needs to be managed professionally. There's nothing you do which is not a project. If you're opening up a salon, it's a project. You need to start from start to finish. You need to know how to manage it like a professional. If you don't do it like that, I'm sorry, but you may fail at some point. We take a lot for granted, so that's why we brought in project management certification course at SHEP. That's the only course which is certified by the US.
Mr. Teke, are you there? Yes.
That's why we brought in management certification course at SHEP. That's the only course which is certified by the US.
Mr. Teke, please.
Mr. Teke, are you there? Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I was asking, you got some of the worries of some televiewers. Many of them have written. Can you add to what has been said already out here?
I'm here, please. I'm here.
Yes, I was asking whether you can add to some of the worries raised by our televiewers.
Please, can you take that again?
Yes, I'm sure you followed some of the worries raised by the televiewers who would want you guys to assist them. Do you have anything to add to what has been said here already?
Okay, fine. I think I've been listening so far, and I'm happy I have a very competent team that is actually giving our viewers what they're actually looking for. So persons looking for market, yes, we are capable, especially when it has to do with maize. I'm assuring most of our maize farmers, maize partners, that in the next 2-3 months to come, we will be needing more maize in Cameroon. We'll be needing more maize. We want to send them abroad. We'll need them for our factory here in Cameroon. So all of those worries, all of those issues raised, if you're not still clear about what my people on in the studio are giving to you, please just write any of those numbers and we will respond to you. There are people that, like a lady in Moyuka that says she has a billionaire mindset upstairs and she needs coaching. We are available. We're going to do all of that for you. Just get us on any of our numbers and we will reach you and we'll see how we can handle your problems.
Mr. Tesk, now one issue is starting a business, but many persons are afraid to fail. How do you guarantee or ensure that they survive after creation? You do that by coaching?
The first thing about running a successful business is what I call consistency. Mm-hmm. The average Cameroonian or the average African lacks that character, consistency. We don't have the patience enough to stay on a particular issue until we see it successful. We move from one thing to another. The moment it's not working well, we want to move. The moment it's not working well, we want to change. So how do you run your business and make it successful? First, you have to be consistent. Number two, you have to know that it's business. Business simply means you have to be busy doing something. So you have to get to work. I have seen a lot of young Cameroonians who started off with business, and as soon as a business starts generating a little income, they want to relax and start eating and enjoying the profit. They enjoy the profit until they even enjoy their capital. So what are you supposed to do? You have to be on your toes, working until the day you realize that this business has built enough capacity. So first, what are you supposed to do? Build consistency. If the business must last, you have to be consistent. Number two, your business must last, you have to keep learning. You have to keep learning. Number three, if your business must last, you have to learn to train people that you will delegate to actually do things for you. This is how I put it. Create the business, run the business, delegate people, assign them to run the business for you, watch them while they run the business. Right now, we are getting to 4 years in business, and most of our business, in short, all of the business we have, I don't directly control them. I assign responsibilities to people who run those businesses. Madame Jingwa Dorothy is in charge of Tesk Global Cameroon. Mr. Alu Innocent is in charge of Tesk Global Nigeria. Mr. Atabon Folefok is in charge of Tesk Global US. Mr. Nico Hansen is in charge of Tesk Global South Africa. Michael Kalu is in charge of Tesk Global Turkey. Right, so these people are in their various zones, different countries, managing Tesk Global. So I cannot go to all of those places. So we want to be everywhere. The problem is we want to be in everything we do. And your energy alone cannot build a sustainable business. So you have to, first of all, be free-minded to trust yourself and trust people to delegate a responsibility for them to run your business. While you watch them from afar, that's what God does. He creates, assigns people to run it and watches them from afar. I have someone that is running Tesk, that is managing a Chef Academy, Madame Matt. I have someone managing Textilia, Mr. Sa Esley. I have someone managing Tesk Global Foundation. Different people managing different businesses. But I created the idea. I generated the idea. I started the whole vision. but I am consistent in my watch. So what are we supposed to do? You have run a business, most people are failing. Why? Number one, they are not consistent. Number two, they don't have the capacity to trust someone else with their business. Because trust is one virtue that every successful businessman has to build. That is the problem we have with the average African nation. Our average African leaders does not have the capacity to trust other people to handle power except them. And that's why Africa cannot go ahead. That's why our nation is having difficulties. We need to trust ourselves, train people, and trust them with a responsibility to run the affairs of the ideas that we have created. If we don't trust them, it means we cannot even trust our own ideas. If our business must be successful, we have to delegate responsibilities. We need to give people the chance to run that business for us, because whether you like it or not, there are things that the people I have delegated, those working with me, will know that I don't know. There are things that the Tesk general manager, Madame Dorothy, will know that I don't know. There are things that Mr. Buji, the marketing director of Tesk will know that I don't know, and Madame Dorothy does not know. There are things that Madame Matt will know that I don't know. So if I want to bring everything to myself and I want to be the manager of everything I run, my business will not cross the borders of Cameroon. It will not even cross the borders of Boya. So if we have to expand as entrepreneurs, youth entrepreneurs, if we have to expand, if we have to grow, if we have to be sustainable, we must learn to train people and trust them and delegate them with responsibilities to run our vision. Without that, we'll just remain local champions. So the reason why most businesses have not exceeded their boundaries is because they don't know how to delegate responsibilities, and we don't understand collaboration.
Okay, Mr. Buji and Madame Dorothy, creating a company is also knowing that there are going to be challenges, especially in a very competitive world. So you are getting out there to engage in a competition with other persons.
Of course, when you are going out there, you're going to engage in a competition with other persons. But one thing that we need to know as entrepreneurs is that what you are solving is unique.
Okay.
Even in the same field that other people are already there, let's just say restaurant business. You have 5 people who are into restaurant business. What is going to separate you from the rest of the people will be the quality of the food that you offer, the customer service that you give, how you treat people. So it takes a lot of things. And I always say, if you want to do anything, do it with the best. Put in your best. If you want to sweep the street, sweep it like nobody has ever done it before. If you want to play football, play it like the best that ever is. So believe, as an entrepreneur, you need to believe that you are unique. The way your approach to solving a problem is totally different. And that is why at one point we talk about the new normal is collaboration, not competition.
Okay. Yes.
So you can get to, if you want to run a business of the magnitude of Tesk Global, it's important. You will not approach Mr. Teke and will tell you that, no, I cannot share with you experience, I cannot empower you. That is instead what he's doing. He prays that there should be more businesses like Tesk Global in Cameroon in a way that we actually collaborate instead of competing, because we have a lot of resources that we have not tapped into, and they can be everything for everybody.
Okay, they can be everything for everybody. But even before getting into a business idea, there is need to have what they call a thorough study of how the market works now.
The first is a marketing research. Where you finish with that, you identify your competition. Definitely, you always have competitors. But like I say, the key to fighting this is constant innovation. Innovation is that thing that makes you unique. You know, that thing that anyone can identify about you and say, no, this is you, this stands for you. Okay, so if you're able to innovate, like I usually tell the staff, please, what are we doing next month that is different? And I'm like, madam, next month, yes, every month you come to Tesk Global office, you see something different. It's not because we take it as fun, but there is a need for clients to see something new, and that thing should not just be new for the new sake, but it should be something new that can benefit your clients or investors in the case of Tesk Global. So yes, we actually do face challenges from our clients, from our investors, from the competition, and managing a company nationwide. It has not been an easy thing for anyone though. So. Okay. But by the grace of God, it has not been easy, but it has been fulfilling.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Tesk Global is bigger than what some people think. This is a greatest thing that has happened to Cameroonians. Say hi to the GM of Tesk. I call on Cameroonians to believe in Tesk. Alex is from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and the crew from Tesk Global. The worry I have now is, how can someone who doesn't have the complete money for registration invest in Tesk Global? You, Jinabo from Boya, mile 16. Please, can we just take down, okay. Can we note down some of their worries? Good evening, Mr. Leo. Your program is the best. Divine is writing from Kumba. Greetings, sir, and others around you. I wish to ask this question to our brother. Advisable to have 3 objectives as program to follow at once. Agendia Sylvester is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening to you, Agendia. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Please, I did not get the Tesk Global Center at Douala, and please, for the seminar, is a registration fee required. Ariane is writing from Kribi. Ariane, there are numbers on the screen. Call them. Mr. Kum, good evening. I follow up the respective town, and I did not hear of Kumba. Is Kumba not part of Tesk Global? From Kumba by Dionysius Folker Foliwe. Good evening to you. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Can we get them in Bafusam? Nelly writing. Nelly, call them. I'm Albertine Newsemo. I'm based in Kumbu, Bui Division. I am following your program, Prime R. Where can I find the book Billionaire's Mindset? How can we benefit from some of your trainings back here in Kumbu? Call them using the number on your screens, please. Mr. Liu, ask them Orange Building, the present one or the former one opposite Oil Libya in Bamenda. Ngwa is writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm a barber. I started in a simple barber shop, and now I have a modern barbering shop, and I am the boss here. So please, do I still need help? Is Terence writing from Yaoundé? Yes, you may need to open 10 other shops, please. Okay. I am a bee farmer. Okay, he has sent me samples of honey. I'm a bee farmer. I have farmers with whom we work. Please, I will supply you with the quality the company will need. My name's Beningme Matthias Lane. Can you just call the numbers? You call yourself Pa Honey. Good evening to you, Pa Honey. Just call the numbers under your screen, and I'm sure they will direct you on how to get to them or how they can help you. Good evening, Mr. Leo and invitees. I just want to know if the number of participants for April seminar shall be limited. If not, I fear lack of concentration and its negative consequences. It's Emmanuel writing from Kumbu. Good evening to you. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Where can I get a copy of that book in Limbe? Maurice is writing from Limbe. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Tell the lady in the studio that Tesk Global in Ikondo Titi is situated at former Express Union building opposite Apostolic Church in the street leading to Balondo Town. Samuel watching. Okay, Samuel.
Thank you to that.
We are grateful for that precision. Hello, I have 200K and I want to start a job. Please, can you help me? I'm Harris. I'm really frustrated and I don't want to waste it or fuck up. Call them, they will help you. Harris, my name is Sonita. I live in Douala. Please, what business can I do with 300 francs?
Francs.
Okay, 300. No, okay. I don't know whether it's 300 or 300,000. Maybe it's a mistake. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and to you in the studio. I have a bakery. Can Tesk Global help me with the markets? Thanks. I'm Rolly, writing from Douala. Rolly, get to them. Good evening to you all, sir. I am in Loom. How can I get the book? Edwin Garrel. Edwin, just call. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm really enjoying your program. Ashanti, writing from Douala. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the panelists, please. This is Felix from Opa Bayang, the coordinator of a farming group called Mustard Seed. Please, how can I have a copy of the book for my group? Just call the numbers on the screen there. Can we just provide some answers to what is expressed?
Okay, the first question, how can someone without money, like without the complete money invest? So we have what we call the open book in the office. So if you have, let's say 30,000 francs, you can actually go to the office or any of our offices and deposit. A receipt to be given to you. Now, once you get to the required sum, then your investment will be made. So you must not necessarily have the complete amount to take the bold step.
Okay. Yeah, but many questions were asked.
Abuja, sending you some of the questions. I was copying.
Okay. Yeah.
Bamenda.
Okay, Bamenda is the location in Bamenda is opposite the main market. That's the former Orange building. So you also have somebody from Kribi asked if there is going to be a registration for the seminar on the 10th. Yes, there is a registration of 25,000, but we are giving a discount up to the 15th of this month, just 15,000 francs. Somebody asked about the limit for concentration. Obviously, the capacity is definitely going to take just 1,000. Remember, we say we are impacting 21,000 lives. So imagine that other 20,000 people won't be there. So you will only be there if you are one of the lucky people to take action now.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Kun. What an interesting program. Please, can you give a rundown of the days within the week where Prime R is run? Prime R runs every day from Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. every day. You can follow us. Tani Funi is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I want to know where Tesk Global is located in Yaoundé. Micah writing from Yaoundé. Good evening, Mr. Leo. It's Sapido. Moses, where can I locate Tesk Global in Douala? Can you just call the numbers? They are going to direct you. I want to get this last question to you, Mr. Teke. If you are there, Mr. Teke, how many persons are also not too inspired to getting into business because of what they will call the business climate in Cameroon or Africa that may not be favorable? Does it really matter? Is that a defining factor to deciding whether someone should get into business or not?
Sorry, Mr. Yu, can you take that again? Your line is actually breaking again.
I'm asking about the business climate. Many persons are afraid of engaging into business because of what they describe as the unfavorable business climate prevailing in Cameroon and Africa. Should one consider that as a major factor in deciding whether they get into business or not?
Oh, well, as far as the climate is concerned, the environment is the same everywhere. We also have unfavorable business situations. So we are the people who decide how the climate or how the environment should run for us. We have been into this for getting to 4 years now. And so if there is any, from when we started our business till now, is when Cameroon and the entire world is actually experiencing a whole lot. From the Anglophone crisis to the COVID, coronavirus crisis and all the rest. But if we are still thriving by the grace of God, that means that there's something that can be done if the mindset is corrected. So the location, the people becomes the location. You can decide how the environment or how situations affect your business or affect your life. Everybody was indoors during coronavirus, but Tesk Global was doing business. How did we do it? It boils down to the fact that when there is a challenge, you should figure out how to make a solution out of that challenge. So can the unfavorable condition in the Africa or Cameroon environment affect businesses? Yes, it can. But is there a solution out of it? Yes, there is. So it depends on how you handle it, on the kind of mindset you have. If you want to depend on blaming challenges and the situations, both humanly caused or natural disasters, it's left for you. If you want to create a solution and bust out of the challenge, it's still your decision to make. But like I will always say, any crisis, anything that comes to humanity as a crisis is simply an opportunity to grow. So where there is a crisis, there's always a way out at the end of the crisis. Crisis is a rude word or an old word for misfortune and opportunity. So if the environment is faulty, if the environment is wrong, if Cameroon environment has issues with startup businesses, it means there is also a way out of that problem. So the way you approach it, the way you take it, your mentality depends if you are going to see the environment as a challenging environment or as a problematic environment for business, or you are going to see it as an opportunity to make more money for yourself.
Okay, good evening to you all. My name is Chantal. I'm living in Kumba. I'm really enjoying the program. It is very educative. I wish you guys abundant blessings. Same to you. We are glad we are a blessing to you. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Please tell Mr. Teke that I really want him to be my coach. I have a lot upstairs. I need you guys to help me. Martha is writing from Uyuka. This one says, I am just coming back from work. I will take part on Monday. Jonathan is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening, Mr. Kum, Kenneth, and Dobede, writing from Limbe. Please, I wish to ask if there is no benefit for one who has invested up to 4 million. No, there's surely benefit. But you guys have upcoming events. Can we tell the televiewers where they're taking place and how they can be part?
Yes, we have upcoming programs. Let's first of all start with the program in Buea tomorrow at Shape Academy. So it's a free event, and if you are getting us and you are in Buea, then you can get to us immediately after this to book a reservation. Then we also have a program that it will be on the 13th of this month. That is next weekend, Saturday, in Yaoundé at class from 2 p.m. We are going to be bringing to you these opportunities closer to the people of Yaoundé. You will learn how you can actually leverage on the agricultural sector to make money. You're going to learn financial intelligence. You're going to learn how to master word mastery, and many more. Then the event in Buea is going to be, I would love the GM to actually throw more light on the picture that she is planning for the Buea community, considering the fact that that is the host city of the company. That's where the head office is. Okay.
Actually, so many questions have been coming up on how do you make this money, you know, to pay people, you know, people getting to invest 30 million and get 4% weekly for 50 weeks is huge. Yes, on that day, we're going to elaborate, you know, do some kind of financial analysis of all our projects and show to our investors, because as Mr. Teke said, they are not just investors, they are partners. We're going to educate them how to live from step A to step B. Means you know, augment your financial status. We're also going to enlighten them on some, you know, some wealth secrets that will be headed by Mr. Boji himself, and Mr. Teke too will be there. He'll be present. So for all those who have questions from Mr. Teke, they can come on that day. But that seminar is meant for both investors and prospects who have doubts and are willing to invest. So not forgetting the fact that everybody who is going to attend that seminar will have a discount on registration fee on that day. So if you have your doubts, come and get them cleared off and come along with your money, because you're going to have some benefits as an attendee. Thank you.
Okay, at the level of Shape Academy, we are starting our new entrepreneurship training from the 13th of March. That's next week, Saturday. It's very flexible, actually. Our trainings run only during weekends. And there's no age limit, meaning if you're 60, you can come. And if you're 15 and you can read and write and understand, you're welcome to SHEP. It's better to start early, you know. It's better to start planning early so you don't fail. So we'll start on the 13th of March. That's for March session. And we also have our PMP training, that's project management certifications, which started today. So, but you can always join from next month.
Okay.
And with that one, we don't need too many students because it's really intense. So we just need the few people who are very interested in that.
Okay. Good evening. I'm waiting from Bamenda. I would like to know to get to them in Bamenda. Just call the numbers, please. They'll direct you. Good evening, Mr. Liu and panelists. I'm really enjoying the program. Please, I'm really interested in the company, but I really need financial assistance. So let the madam tell me, how do I go about it? Prince is writing from Bamenda too. Prince, call the madam using the numbers on your screen. She'll tell you. Good evening, sir. I'm from Douala. How can I? Thanks to you all for you guys have really inspired me as a youth, not to only be a job seeker, but to be self-employed jobs. Cecilia, writing from Douala. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I do like the way which the panelists talk. When I must have invested 300,000 francs, and after 3 years, I think no to partake with the Tesk Global. What are the conditions to withdraw from the Tesk Global? Thanks. Edda Clifford is writing from Lime. I'm sure that's the reason why they are holding the seminar. Just call them for clarification. Good evening, Mr. Liu. The program is a marvelous one, but Mr. Teke, the network problem is disturbing somehow. It's true. We make machines, so technology, at times they decide to fail us. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the management of Tesk Global. Please, how can someone apply for a job at Tesk Global? Stanley, writing from bed to Stanley, call them. If there are openings, I'm sure they will tell you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Audacity of Success is a must-attend event to everyone who seeks to dare to do something worthwhile in life. As Mr. Buji earlier said, collaboration is the new normal. For collaboration to take place, we need the right mindset, the billionaire's mindset. Kudos to the Tesk Global team in the studio, Neba Paul. Azinwi, writing, we have to end at this juncture. We want to say thank you, Mr. Buji, for coming and talking to our televiewers this evening.
It's always a pleasure, and I'm happy that our televiewers are already having the billionaire mindset. If you look for most of their response, it's actually going towards where we are expecting.
Thank you to Brother Matt for coming.
I'm very happy to be here. Actually, I'm almost shocked that it's ending. I thought we still had like but let's remember, as our slogan goes, we always need to reinvent ourselves. We always need to rediscover ourselves for the way forward, for life ahead. We always need to rediscover ourselves.
Okay, and to you, Madam Dorothy, thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure. I want to end by saying we definitely always need another source of income, and investing in Tesk Global is the surest source of income anyone can venture into.
Mr. Teke, we are glad you were able to take part in today's edition of the program.
Yes, thanks so much. And I want to say a big thank you to my Media Prime. You are doing well. And thanks to our viewers. Again on Friday. And a wonderful thank you to my entire team, Madam Dorothy, Madam Matt, and Mr. Buji. You guys are doing well, and I wish you the best.
We want to say thank you too to Eli and Desmond producing this program, Bertrand and Noel, and to you, Tambe Bryant, supervising the work we do out here. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.